Hi guys, Dave White here again. After your response for the last video, I thought I'd go ahead and share another one. This time I'm going to be making Sunday lunch on Easter Day in lockdown 2020. And we're going to be making steak pie, veg and mashed potato. So for this we've got a little bit of topside and a little bit of rump. We've got some mushrooms, onions, we're going to make a steak and mushroom pie. Then we've got the carrots, we've got the turnip and some florets. And we've got some beer. Gotta have a beer, it's Sunday afternoon, so let's get going. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is get rid of these big hard vegetables. And what we do is take the skin off by chopping and tailing. And then just running your knife around the edge. Turnips peeled, go ahead and let's dice these up. I'm going to start these off in cold water. Okay, turnips on the go, so let's get the carrots peeled. So top to tail, speed peeler, and just go one quick slice from the top to the bottom whilst rotate it on your fingertips. Okay, so once we've got them peeled, what we want to do is take the tops and the tails off, put them to the side. Alright, once it's done, I'm just going to cut these into battens and stick them in the pan. Okay, so carrots are chopped, let's get them covered in cold water. And we're going to set these to the side and wait for that burner to come free. So in the meantime we're going to pre-cook the root vegetables and we're going to roast them off later on. But these ones here, the florets, we're just going to prep these and prepare to boil them later on just before we go to serve the food. So now when prepping a cauliflower, quite simple, go down to the bottom where you see the root, just work your knife in a 45-degree angle and all your florets will start to drop off. Discard the root, take the rest, put it in the tub, and like I said, we'll cook that in just a little while. Now to prep the broccoli, just take your knife straight down through the centre and then cut into each floret, leaving as much core on as possible. That's where all your fibre and your goodness is. A lot of people tend to get that cut off, but I prefer to eat it. Makes it nice and crunchy. And the big bits here, just slice them in half and discard the rest. Alright, put these to the side. Some beer. Let's make a start with the steak pie. First thing we're going to do is get some heat on the pan. I'm going to use a saute pan here. This is going to allow me to be able to brown the beef properly and add it into the onions it's roasting. So first thing we do, slice up the onions. I want these to be a little bit chunky, so just go ahead and roughly cut them 3 by 4 or 5 slices. So I'm going to add in a little bit of rosemary stem into there as well. I'm not going to chop it, I'm going to remove that later on. Then we're going to get some oil, add that into the pan as well. So give them a quick stir and a little bit of salt. That's going to get us going nicely. Okay, so now for the beef. So the first thing we've got is we've got a tray of flour. We've got 2 nice big bits of beef sitting here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add in some seasoning to the flour. So that's salt and mixed pepper. And then this is going to allow us to thicken the gravy later on. So to prep the beef, all you need to do is take your knife, keep the fat on, nice clean slices straight down through, about 1-inch dice as we go. This one here, we'll keep it in the flat. And we'll just take a knife straight down through the side. Making it easier to dice up in just a second. Okay, so go ahead, take a knife through, and as I said, about just under an inch. To keep a nice meaty steak pie. So let's pause there. Let's just give this a bit of a mix up. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take some oil into the pan. You start to place this in very carefully so you don't burn yourself with the splash. And just centering it around where the oil currently is at the moment. We'll start to give that in stir in just a second. Starting to brown up nicely. And the darker we make it, the darker your gravy is going to be. Okay, so now it's nice and browned, let's get that across into the pan with onions. Let's get ready for the next batch. So another splashing of oil. And again, let's just mix this up in the flavour. Okay, so whilst this is cooking, what we'll do is we'll get the turnip off the heat now. Strain it off. And we'll rest that aside, put it in the chopping board so it doesn't burn the counter, and we'll roast that later. Alright, so it's coming to the end now, so let's get that into the pan. What we want to do is just top this up with water to the top. We're going to cook that there for around 2 to 3 hours. In the meantime, we want to add mushrooms to this, so let's keep that hot pan there. Let's build a bit of flavour. So mushrooms go in. Okay, so roasting those mushrooms down nicely. What we're going to do is add in some tomato puree. Enough to do the quantity of beef required, in this case almost half a jar. And we're going to add in some red wine, using dregs that we left over from the night before. Not quite enough, so we're going to have to crack open a new bottle. And we're going to then start to reduce this down and make it into a nice sauce. Now the bottle's open, it would be a shame not to. Yeah, that's very nice. Okay, add that back into the pie to give it colour and flavour, and let's get that cooking now for the next couple of hours. Okay, so steak pie is cooking, carrots are almost done, we're going to leave them the same as what we've done with the turnips, We're going to come back in about an hour and a half, finish off the florets, get the mash done, drink some more wine probably. I'll see you soon. I'll come back. So, steak pie's finished. I've already taken some out. And now I've got the pie ready to go in the tray we're going to work with, but that will rest for a couple of minutes. We've got the broccoli sitting here, so we're going to drop that in to start cooking. And I've already pre-cooked the cauliflower, which is now going to wait for its cheese sauce to go on, which we'll do in just a minute. I peeled some potatoes, and they've been boiling away for about half an hour. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these strained off, then we're going to get them mashed up. So let's get that done first. Okay, so let's get this mash off and to strain off. Back over, we're going to get this whisk, and we're just going to start smashing it. Get those potatoes broken down. They have been cooked in salted water, but there is quite a few potatoes here, so what we're going to do is just top this up with some more salt. We're going to put in some olive oil. And we're going to give a good drop of cream. We're going to use some butter as well. We're going to check on the broccoli here. It's just about ready. As well as start to give this a bit of a mash up, a good whisk, we'll gauge it as we go. Well, let's get this broccoli out. We'll just stack up on the side here. We'll refresh that just before we serve it. Then we're going to make a start with the cheese sauce. So let's start cheese sauce off with the cauliflower cheese by adding in some milk. Add in some salt. We'll start to bring that to the boil while we're waiting for that. Going to make up a little thickening solution, so we take some of this flour. A little bit of the olive oil. Grab a whisk. We got a little bit of a paste here. Once the milk comes up to temperature, we'll use this to thicken the sauce. Okay, so now milk's boiling. What we'll do is we'll take this thickener we made just a couple of minutes back. And we're going to stir that in using a whisk. And it should start to catch and start to thicken up the liquid. From here I'm going to then take some of the cheese. Drop that in. We're going to whisk this in as well. Have a little taste. Balance for seasoning. We're going to take it, we're going to pull it over the top of the cauliflower, take a little bit more of the cheese, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of homemade breadcrumbs, just off the bread that's usually left after we've had a baguette or a ciabatta. take this, give the edges a good wipe, pop that in the oven and give that about half an hour. Okay, so we've dispersed the pie. We've now got the mash made, we've got the vegetables done. We're going to pop the roasted vegetables straight in the oven right now. Get them on the go. And we've got the pie sitting here, we need to put the pie crust on. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now to deal with the pastry, what we'll do is coat it in the flour, just using plain flour. We'll use a rolling pin and just probably get it out to roughly about the size of the shape of the dish. Now we want it to be quite thick, because I like a soggy pastry when it comes out of the oven. So we use that. Right the pie across. Lay it over the side. And then we're just going to trim off the excess. Take it over and I'm going to crimp it so that it can catch whilst it's cooking. That'll stop it from rising and spilling over the side. Make a incision right in the middle, and we're going to egg wash it. Just using one egg beaten, taking it up to the sides. And we're going to pop that in the oven for about 15 minutes. Okay, so looks like the steak pie is ready. Let's get this out up onto the bench. Let's get the veggies out as well. And the cauliflower cheese, which we're just going to put in the middle of the table. Okay, so let's plate this up. Put the carrots. A little bit of turnip. And fold it back in itself. Nice help on the meat. And the pie crust. Steak pie. Happy Easter.
How's the bowman? I'm eating some steak that David made. Actually, for dinner. And then, can I try a bit of mashed potato? Even though I know I like it. Mashed potato.
It's good.
That's amazing. I'm gonna have a little bit more. Just a little bit. the extra bits off the side, David.